Is Woltemade a roided Peter Crouch? You know, a tall guy with surprisingly good feet? Or is he the German Zlatan, a genuine world-leading technician of the highest order, someone who's going to take the game by storm? Let's break it down. He's not like a Haaland who's going to disappear for large stretches of the game. He's someone who's a bit more like an Isak, someone who's got classy link-up play, operates close to the final third, but you won't see him missing. He will run into channel areas. He can almost operate as your number 10 at times in terms of that hold-up play and bringing others into play. What I would say is not Harry Kane. I don't really see him as like a deep-lying playmaker who's going to really come close to the centre circle. In terms of creativity, Woltemade's numbers pop 97th percentile for shot creating actions. Not just generating chances for himself, but he's someone who's got the vision. He can thread balls through, bring others into the game in terms of goal scoring. But if he's inside the box, he puts his foot on the ball, little soul foot control, buys himself that extra time, and he can then lay it off for players to run onto. In terms of goal threat, 0.67 goals per 90, 63% of his shots are on target. So he's a bit of an efficient finisher. This ain't no Darwin Núñez. He's got solid striking technique, and even when he's navigating traffic inside the box, he tends to know where the back of the net is. I say compared to a Liam Delap, probably got more range and composure in his finishing in terms of Liam Delap's more of a power shooter, whereas Woltemade is more finesse in terms of how he places the ball inside the box. So there's in terms of Woltemade's dribbling, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Now, 46% success rate isn't something to scream about, but in terms of the volume of dribbles, he falls into that Delap territory of centre forward. He's someone who is going to actively try and progress the game with his running. He's not a Harry Kane who's not really going to beat his man. This is a guy who's going to take his team, drag his team forward, even from their number 9 position. He's someone who can, use his foot rolls. He can glide with the ball using the laces of his feet, and he's agile for a big man. So he's definitely ahead of a Peter Crouch for me in terms of his technique and his ability to run with the ball. I wouldn't say he's technically as wow as a Zlatan. Now, here comes the paradox. Woltemade's aerial game. Now, you'd think being that tall, he's going to be incredibly effective in the air, and he duels often in the air. We're talking over 6 duels per game because the ball gets played to him in aerial situations because they probably presume tall guy, let's use his height. Now, he only wins 30% of his aerial duels, and if you watch his actual footage, he's ducking a lot of these aerial duels, so he's not terribly effective in the air yet. He needs to bully people with his height, and at the moment, he's not quite doing it. And this was a criticism that was also leveled at Peter Crouch at times. Conclusion, Woltemade's toolbox is rare. Do I see him as technically as brilliant as a Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Not necessarily, but he reminds me a bit of a Diego Milito, someone who, if he's psychologically a strong player, he's got quick enough feet, he's got good link-up play, he's composed inside the box. This guy could be arguably more effective in the business end of tournaments than a Zlatan was in the long-term scheme of things.